What's up?
What's going on, Chief?
Nothing much. Figured I'd hop on while we're waiting for everyone to
Right.
jump on in,
My man. What's going on your way, bro?
kick it off strong.
Yes,
Going
sir.
well. Um, hmm. Oh, I remember what I wanted to talk about. So, I started watching Fences. Need to finish it. Good movie so far.
With
Um,
Denzel?
mm-hmm.
Okay, nice.
One of the, I think one of the things that caught my attention that might be worth talking about on this stream is I think his character Troy does a really good job of I guess, expressing or conveying what we call unapologetic desire. And I do think that's something that I think both men and women can struggle with in dating these days. But
Mm,
have you seen the movie?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
I saw Viola Davis like snot in the commercial, and I said, "Well, I'm gonna skip that one. I don't know. I
I've
don't know if
not
I'm gonna
gotten to
watch
that
that
point
one."
yet.
Right, right. So
Um,
what about it that stood out to you? You said something about like unquenchable desire. Is that what you said?
Unapologetic.
Unapologetic desire. Okay, talk to me.
Un- yeah. I think the way he expresses his desire for his wife, Rose, in the movie, um, the way he and granted, this is a husband and wife too, not necessarily just in a dating sense, so
Right.
it probably makes more sense. But he's very forward and verbal with his desires for his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's comfortable, you know, being close with her. Um, but yeah, I guess sometimes we've seen it in your course as well as you could just kind of tell with how people express themselves. Sometimes people struggle with expressing their desires in a healthy fashion or
Mm.
even in an unapologetic fashion. Um, Especially, I guess, younger men or men that might be muting themselves or might be worrying about being too pushy.
Right.
I think they kind of mute that need to express their desire.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. Right. I mean, I think
Mm-hmm.
society kind of like puts a lot of fear into you, where a lot of guys are this may be just a justification, but they're afraid of like false allegations, or they're afraid of unrequited desire, right?
Yeah.
So if they express it, they then feel exposed. They're really fearful of vulnerability,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the most vulnerable thing, to be like, I feel this way about you, and then it not be reciprocated, and then it's like, how do you live that down, right?
Right.
That's a challenge a lot of them face, but
It's a risk for sure, but
sure,
it's important
yeah,
for relationships or for desire to fully manifest
right.
in the relationship.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's something that a lot of guys struggle with. Um, I had a client, man, early 20s, and trying to get this guy to like make a move on the woman that he's now in a relationship with was like pulling teeth. I was like, bro, I can't do it for you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you have to just do something, man. It was like
Yeah.
such a layup situation. Like, I get it. I understood where he was coming from. Not to give too much information about him, but I understood where he was coming from. But it was so difficult because I'm like, man, this is a layup. Like, you know it's gonna go well. You know she's gonna receive it well, right? But it's like it's that mental block. He had like a freeze response where he just couldn't do anything. And eventually she made a move on him. And he was like, I felt like such a bitch, like, because she was the one who had to cause it. And she even said, like, I kind of feel like I'm wearing the pants here. I was like,
Yeah.
that stinks. That one
Definitely not.
hurt. But it's like every step in the process, it was very difficult for him to like make a move and execute. And it kind of got him in hot water. Like, I had to give him like a real stern talking to our last call. I was like, you have to, like, because she was showing signs of pulling away because he was, the emotional pacing of the relationship was outpacing the physical anchor.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
because he hadn't really made any moves, because he never really locked in, they never really slept well at the time of the conversation was months ago. They hadn't slept together or anything. He was doing like romantic things though. And I'm like, you have to have a physical anchor. You have to stamp this in that this is a sexualized relationship, that there is true desire here, right? You can't be getting her flowers and roses, and this is your girlfriend, right? This is, we're not talking about like dating or anything. Y'all in a full fledged relationship, and this isn't like within a Christian context either. This is a worldly couple, right? So you have to put. There's no legitimate reason why, right? Neither of you are
Mm-hmm.
celibate. Neither of you are abstaining. Like if y'all were doing those things, cool. That would be something that is shared and spoken about. But that's not what was going on here. It's purely fear
Right.
that's stopping you, right? So he kind of felt that she was engaged, like she was calling him bro a lot. You know what I mean?
Oh no.
Like a lot. And they were
Ugh.
long distance as well. So I had to give him. I remember
Okay.
the voice memo I sent him. I had to give him a very, very stern tone. I was like, "Listen, bro, you have to. When you see her again, you have to solidify this, bro. I'm not trying to psych you out and get you in your head, but like things are actively getting worse because you're not moving things forward, and eventually you don't have the luxury of of taking your time with this because y'all are long distance. The amount of time that y'all are in shared
Yeah.
space is limited. So you probably have one more shot at this before she's fully out of the connection, and then send you that text like, "Hey, I don't think it's gonna work." So
Mm.
it's a very important thing. You have to find out what's blocking you, and then just go for it. Maybe he was coming up short. No, this is the thing. He's an attractive guy, um, socially competent guy. He just was inexperienced and got his head about it. So, and would do the rationalization like, well, I want it to be special, that kind of stuff. I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to do special. This is just what you're telling yourself to let yourself off the hook. A lot of the conversations I have with guys are based on like, that's a lie, right? You're lying to yourself here. Even
Mm-hmm.
on this live, when I talk to men and women, it's like, well, you're lying to yourself there. Your growth is going to be capped based on your ability to tell yourself the truth. If you can make your default setting to tell yourself the truth, your growth will be like, it will skyrocket. Because most people just lie to themselves
Right.
all the time.
Right. Just being comfortable, being uncomfortable with the truth
Yeah,
goes a
but
long way, for sure.
right.
Mm.
But there's nothing
I
that
guess my
there's nothing I know that I can like tell guys that like kind of can get them to the place where I can force them to do it. You see, some people just get to that place where they're in enough pain they just say fuck it and go after it, and others
yeah.
just they just never get there, and then they live a life of quiet desperation, right?
True. True. I guess my next question would be then, since I'm going to be abstaining again,
Mm-hmm.
what are some ways I can continue to express my desire in an unapologetic fashion without taking it to that final point?
It would probably be verbal and nonverbal, right? I think that's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of guys who abstain. They neuter themselves because they're
Yeah.
like, "Well, I'm abstaining, so I shouldn't talk about this at all." It's like you should convey to her that like you're having a hard time controlling yourself
Mm-hmm.
in a certain way,
Okay.
right? That you really want to do these things. Like let's get. You should probably joke like, "Let's get married tomorrow so we can go
Okay.
ahead," because I don't know how
Yeah.
long I'm gonna be able to hold off, right? That kind of shit will
So be
maintain
playful about
polarity.
it.
Yeah, yeah, that'll maintain
Playful about the
polarity a little bit.
situation.
There's a lot of guys
Okay.
don't do that though. They'll neuter themselves. They'll act like they don't have a Johnson, right? And that's not
Mm.
attractive. That's not
Okay.
attractive. Just pretending like we're not here for this reason to a certain degree.
Right. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. I can definitely do that. If anything.
Yeah, I got that covered.
Yeah, for sure. If anything, making a joke about it makes it easier.
Right, exactly.
Um,
So I'm assuming that you will be dating women who are also abstaining.
yes, yes.
One thing that I want to be careful with is I think if like she's abstaining, if she was like worldly and then she's abstaining, I think that's a good sign. The tricky
Mhm.
thing with celibacy and abstainment is some women have an easier go at those things because they just have a low sex drive.
Yeah, and I think that's something. I came across when I was celibate last year. Um, I dated someone for a little bit, and I think she already had kind of reservations. She's definitely a very safety oriented kind of woman, and I think she came out of like a significant relationship in her 20s, that college boyfriend situation. I think she just had some bad experiences too, because she was mostly on Hinge. Surprise, surprise. But
Right.
I think she was just oriented that way, which made it easy. And then, of course, and that allowed her to stay around because other things were going well. But I think at the same time, I was kind of neutering myself back then because I was not that as good with the spark side, especially coming from a place where I'm like avoiding the sexual stuff.
Right.
So I think I did come across some people that were a little more oriented towards avoiding the sexual side of things or
Right.
kind of muting that side. But
Right.
I think, like you said, I need to find people that are doing it more as a choice than they are doing it as like a safety mechanism or
Yeah.
kind of like a coping mechanism.
Because that's not really talked about. Like you get someone who has a low sex drive and therefore abstaining or being celibate is something that is easily maintained for them, right? And they obviously have a lot of pride about it. Like, I can do this, y'all can. It's like, well, you actually also don't want to be bent over. So it's like, it's kind of easier for you, right? But
Right.
then you actually get into a relationship or get married and it's like, she only wants to do it once a month. And you're like, whoa, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Put
So you
a
definitely
fast rock on
factor,
it for this.
right? Definitely factor that in to the decision making. Right? Don't just think that the floodgates are going to open. Like maybe with Eva, I don't know if Eva's here. I'm sure Eva, once she unlocks, it's probably a circus in there daily. But
Right.
for others,
I
it's probably
And
not
honestly,
gonna be too
just
happy with
flirting
that.
about it or joking about the situation is probably a good way to probe it too. Did you see how she engages with it? Like the verbal idea of it.
I
Um,
would say there should be some degree of comfort with it, but it's not something I really thought that much about. I would say like if the person was more worldly and like you see how like Eva kind of talks and jokes in here, I would say she probably has a regular
yeah,
drive, right?
especially when
So
Bobby's here.
yeah, exactly. But like if the person kind of comes across as a bit of a prude and like
Hmm.
you can tell that you can pick up on like shame, stuff
Mm,
like that, it's like okay,
yeah.
probably more to unpack here. I don't
Well,
think
even if
you're
they like avoid like intimate talks or like certain flirtatious advances too, could be a little bit of a subtle sign
right.
to consider.
Or if you find that like you can perceive, I would imagine this. I've only had one abstinent experience. If you could see that she's also struggling,
Mm,
if she's
mm,
too cool for school with this shit, then it's probably gonna be a problem. But if you can tell that she's
yeah.
also having a hard time like containing herself, then that's
Yeah.
probably a
I
good
have
sign.
a question.
Hold
I
on,
just
love.
jumped on.
You gotta wait your turn, beloved.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Apologize.
you're good. So, but yeah, that's how I would approach that. But that's just me spitballing. I'm sure if I sat down with it and thought for it for a half hour, I could probably come up with some like a very thought out strategy of how you can approach
Yeah.
it.
I'll have to think about it. I'm not talking to anyone right now, so I have some time to kind of think of my approach,
Right.
or at least think of how not to neuter myself, but do what I already do well. You
Exactly.
know.
Exactly. That's it.
Awesome. Well, I'll get the CC wants me to do the commercial before I hop off. So
All right.
hope you guys are enjoying the call. If you are, definitely like the stream and share it. A couple taps as you write a comment or reposting it will go a long way. Just imagine, you know, if what Marquette has told you has improved your dating life, just imagine how much better the dating pool would be if more people heard what he had to say. You make
Mm,
that a possibility when you like and share the stream every time. So don't be shy and enjoy the stream.
appreciate you, big dog.
Thank you.
I like the little pitch he did there. That was fire. Celeste, what's going on?
Hello.
Yes. How are you?
I'm sorry. I'm in the kitchen. Doing good. I didn't want nothing. I didn't know this was this kind of platform. I was
Okay.
on my For You page. I didn't know this is kind of like I don't know what's going on here. I thought people were just engaging. I didn't know this was a dating
Yep.
thing.
Yep, that's what it is. But no
Oh,
worries, love. I can take it down. You have a good one, all right?
okay, cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Mimi, what's going on?
Hi.
Hi.
I don't know if you remember me. I came here before. I spoke to you.
Nope.
About my husband, like I found a text message and I Googled the number and it was a hooker's website.
Vaguely remember that. What's going on? Is there an update with this?
Yes.
Okay, talk to me.
Oh my God, it's a lot. But you did advise me, like, I don't know if you remember, but I asked you, like, I Googled the number and it came up to be a hooker's website. And when I
Right.
asked my husband, he said that he waited outside and his friend went inside.
Yeah, I
because he
definitely
jumped his
remember
house.
it now. That
You
bullshit story.
remember that?
Yeah.
And then I wasn't sure. I mean, my inside was telling me he definitely cheated, right?
Right.
But I wasn't sure, but you told me he definitely did.
Uh-huh.
So after he told me that, I think after like 2-3 days, I told him, like, it's over. Like, I feel like you've cheated. I'm giving you a chance to just come up, just tell me the whole truth.
Mm-hmm.
So, we can just start from zero. I know you're doing something, you're cheating. I know there's something going on and I feel it. So just tell me the whole truth. But he just denied everything.
Mm.
So I told him, okay, for now, we have 2 houses. So I told him, can you just stay at the other house? Because I don't want to stay here feeling like I don't trust you anymore. I'm not happy with you because you're not telling me the truth. I know there's something. So he said, okay. He said he wasn't really nice or anything. He was still acting weird. Acting mad. I was just confused. I'm like, I'm the one who found out that you're doing something bad on me.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure why he's acting that way. But anyway, he left. He's like, oh, I don't care. Da, da, da. He was acting weird. He was acting rude. He left for like 2 weeks. He was even taking the kids to the other house. So just looking at how he was acting, I was like, you know what? I think I'm really done. I've been going in and out of this marriage, like, for so many other reasons. Like, I was like, oh, I want a divorce. And then we make up, we get mad. We said we want a divorce. I never really go through it. Like,
Right.
So this time though, I said, I think I'm really done. So I started talking to somebody else.
Mm.
Yeah. Because he really showed me every time he come to pick up something to the house, he was really mad. He's like, oh, you can have my money, but you can't have me anymore. I'm totally done with you. He was really acting up. It was so weird because he did not admit that he cheated. But I told him, I know you're doing a lot of things, not only the hookers thing. I just start thinking about other stuff. Like, I've seen other small text messages. So it's like I had an awakening, and I was like, I just felt like he was actually like a serial cheater,
Right.
So at the end, anyways, so I start messing up with someone. And then, you know what? Before I did anything with the person that I met, I took a screenshot of my conversation with the guy and sent it to my husband. And I told him, this text message just to let you know that I'm done with you. And I met someone and I'm going forward with that guy, And he said, okay, me too. He's like, I met someone too. I'm like, either way, I had an intimate, like, I have been sexually intimate with that person after I sent the text message. And then he came back because I already knew, and I just wanted to make a decision. Like, I know if I step out sexually, if I have somebody else, it's totally done for me. And I just felt like it will kind of give me the, like, oh, it's done, there's no going back. So it was probably a mistake, but either way I did it. I'm like, you know what? I have to make a decision because this guy's driving me crazy. He's not apologizing or he's acting crazy. And he's telling me, like, I don't need you. I don't want you anymore. So I'm like, okay. So I felt like he was also doing something. So I'm like, okay. Either way, while I did that, and I texted him that he starts saying, oh, don't see this guy no more. Stop seeing him. That's after the fact. After that, I already did something with him, and I already told him. When I told him at the beginning, he didn't mind. He's like, "Oh, I'm also talking to somebody else. I don't really care anymore. Like, I'm done with you." I'm like, "Okay, if you're done with me." So after that, anyway, he came, and one day I was telling him, "Okay, I'm still talking to this guy, so let's just do the divorce stuff. Let's just peacefully divorce, okay?" But he kept texting me, "You know what? I don't want you to see that guy anymore." I'm like, "No, it's too late. I'm already like I'm already talking to him. I'm not gonna stop, and I'm already done with you." And then while I was talking to him, that guy's supposed to come see me that night. He actually came. Anyway, and my husband out of nowhere, around 10 p.m., came to the house. Well, the other guy was coming as well to see me. He was actually, the other guy was there, and my husband came at the door, but I had to send the other one out. I know it's messy, but anyway, so my husband came and he apologized that night. He said, "I'm sorry. Um, I'm sorry, I messed up, da da da." And he came with flowers and stuff. Like, "I want to make this up to you." Like, anyways, and then I say, "Okay, just tell me the whole truth. Let's see if we can fix this." And I told him, "I know there's something you're hiding. So just tell me the whole, like, whatever. I know you cheated more than the hookers, the stuff." I'm like, "There's more." So anyways, he admitted that he cheated with a woman for 3 months, like 2-3 years ago. And that they were just talking and they had like one sexual night that he has been intimate with her like one time. But I'm trying to make the story short. So I found out it was not just one time. He had multiple sexual contact with her, and she lived in Virginia. So so after that, anyway, but he said, "I don't want her. It was just because you didn't want me, like you were refusing sex with me." He had a lot of reasons. Anyway, he wanted to just make it up. And I have 3 kids, so I'm like, that night I just say, "You know what? Just let it go. Let's just let it be." Anyway, after that night, I couldn't be intimate with him anymore. Like, when he's trying, I was just I didn't have any more feelings for him. Like, when he's trying to be intimate with him. I mean, the first 2 times I just did it, but I had no feelings, or I was not like into it. I just did it because I'm like, we're trying to make up.
Okay. What question do you have here, love?
Um, um, I mean, honestly, I don't really have a questions. 'Cause right now we're living in the same house, but we are trying to divorce, but he's making it harder. Like, he's like, "Oh, we can rebuild," but he's also seeing still the other girl that he cheated on. No, I was just gonna update you. Honestly, I don't really have questions because we are going to divorce. It's just taking long. He's just making it really hard.
Okay. How's he making it hard?
Like, like he doesn't want to watch the kids when I go to work. He just want to make things difficult for me. Like, literally, he doesn't want to watch the kids. He just want to leave the kids on me and just leave. He doesn't. I'm like, "Let's talk," and just like come up with some plan, like custody and house. He just says, "Oh, we're not done. We're gonna have to rebuild." Da, da, da. One day he's done, another day he's not. And he just act like mad angry all the time in the house. He just don't want to sit and talk like peacefully.
Gotcha. Is it true that you were denying intimacy? Like, how frequently were y'all intimate?
We were intimate enough, but there was probably a time where like 3-4 times a week.
Okay, that's like consistently throughout the marriage?
Yeah, consistently, most of the time.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's actually fair.
Yeah, but he wanted more, and sometimes I'd be like, "I'm tired," or "I don't feel like it."
No, he's greedy.
So,
3, 4 times a week is how long are y'all married?
10 years. 11 years, actually. Yeah, 11 years.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, 3, 4 times a week is plenty for
Yeah, he's.
uh,
Yeah, Yeah. So right now he want to rebuild, but I'm really completely done once I stepped out.
Yeah, the only thing I will tell you though is you really were playing with fire in that situation, beloved, because you kind of used the other party, right? We got to be able to see ourselves. Um, you got to treat people like people, okay?
Yeah.
You took another man and you used him in this situation. That ain't a kind thing to do. Not only did you use him, you don't know how your husband was going to react. I don't care how long you've been married. If you never put him in this situation before, you don't know how he's going to react. So not only did you use this other guy, you kind of put him in danger as well, and yourself in danger. You know how many people get like unalived for this exact same situation? You have any
But I
idea?
felt
There's
like I told
people.
them before.
No, 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 no. There's people who off their kids, their wife, and themselves for this exact same situation. You understand that? From with a guy who they thought would never do that, because they put that same guy who they thought was never would never do anything like that in a situation like this, and you never know anybody that well. I don't care how long you've known them. I don't care how long you've been married. You don't know everything about a person. You don't know how they're going to react when you push them to the edge. Okay? So never do this again. If you needed to sleep with somebody to get over your marriage, you're still kind of using somebody, but okay, that's normal. Texting it to your husband was OD. That was not necessary. Letting him know you were doing it was OD. That was not necessary. You can get a divorce without doing all that stuff, right? You put yourself, this new guy, and your kids in potential danger for emotional reasons. Okay? So, not coming down hard on you, I just want you to be aware of that because you probably weren't thinking about that. Because the women who end up in the situations where they're in the dirt now also weren't thinking about that. So, I just want you to be mindful of that moving forward. Okay?
Okay. So the only thing is and then he agreed at one time. He agreed. He said, I can see that you're still messing with that guy, so I'm gonna also step out and mess with the other girl. So we almost ended up being an open marriage, and I did continue being with this guy until like recently,
Right.
2-3 days ago.
Right.
And he was also being with somebody else.
Okay, I hear you. But the way you responded so quickly, I don't know if what I just said landed. Do you understand everything I just got finished saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
I understand. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. At the beginning, yes, I shouldn't have done that, but once it was done, we just continued the scene.
Okay.
But I stopped. Right now, though, I stopped the situation with the other guy, and I just want to end this and just start fresh.
Okay. Well, I hope that y'all get some sort of arrangement going on because it's clear that y'all shouldn't be together. That much is definitely clear. So I wish you the best. Hopefully we can make this a peaceful end of a union. All right.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
No problem, love. You take care.
All right.
We Queen, what's going on?
Hi. So I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is it normal for a man not feeling intimacy with their girl for over than 2 weeks? Because that's what has been happening with me and my boyfriend. And we're in a relationship for almost a year now. But ever since last year, I've been going through his phone and I know he's been cheating. But once we got into terms, we talked about it. He said that he's working on it because before getting into a relationship with me, he used to be like, sleeping around with different type of women. He's never been in a serious relationship with just like one woman. So we talked about it and he said that he needed time so that he can, transition from what he used to be into focusing on me, just me, myself. And that was around last year, December. And I kept looking at his phone. I kept following whatever that he was doing. I knew all his whereabouts, but I never like really told him, and I was just like holding it in. And everything was going normal between me and him, sexually, emotionally, all that. It was just normal. And this year, he had a trip back to Africa, and when he got back, he had sexually met with this women that he had relationships with last year. And we did talk about it, that he was gonna change and he was gonna, stop whatsoever. But then now he's back again into the same habit that he said that he was not gonna, keep doing it. So I got upset and I confronted him, and I was like, you know what, all this time, all these months since last year, we talked about it, and I've been watching you sleeping around, and I'm not doing anything. I'm always here, trying to hold back, trying to fight for this relationship between me and you, but all you're doing is just making it worse. And now you said that you were going to change last year, but you did not. And now you're like adding more people into whatever circle that you have of all these women. So at that time I was talking to him, he had been talking to another girl, trying to flirt with her, and they were meeting during breaks at work. And so I confronted him that day, and he said, no, there's nothing going on with this girl, da-da-da. And then I was like, okay, you said there's nothing going on. I held back again. And he said that he was sorry, like he was trying to stop other relationships with other women, but they're the one who are asking for it. They're the one who are wanting to meet with him, but he's trying to avoid it. But yeah, he's trying so hard. And then I was like, okay, let me be understanding again and fall back and give you time for you to transition. A week later, he had sex with a girl who they would just started talking. The one who he said it's nothing serious, there's nothing going on. So I confronted him, and he said nothing happened. And I was like, okay, so you want me to call this girl? So I called the girl, and the girl was surprised because she was like, your man is the one who was talking to me, saying that he's all by himself, he has no one over here, no family, nobody, he lives by himself, he really loves me, And I was like, well, he lied to you, because there is 6 of y'all in the same circle who are fucking with him, and he is lying to you all. And so when I called the girl and told her that she's actually underage, around 23, under my age, so she's younger than me. So her mom is a patient in that clinic where he works at. So the next morning, the mom went and reported my boyfriend at work, and he got in trouble, but they never fired him, because he went back and he talked to his manager and denied everything, that he didn't do anything, But I know everything that's going on. I know all these girls that he's sleeping with. I know his whereabouts and all that. Upon 2 weeks from today, 2 weeks ago, the intimacy was shut down.
Okay, beloved. Real quick, time. What's your question here? Unmute yourself, because the mods just muted you. So tell me what question you have about this situation.
Okay, so the question is, what do I do? Because I'm confused. Is it normal for a man is he just turned off because I know his whereabouts, or is it normal for a man to not be sexually intimacy with their?
Okay, let's flip this. Let's flip this, because you just asked, is it normal? You asked, is it normal for him to do this? I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think it's normal for a girlfriend to keep a spreadsheet of all the women her man is sleeping with?
I think it's, in my my side, I think I have a right to know what's going on with my partner. So if we're in a relationship and I'm way completely open with you, not lying or anything, why do you have to lie?
I ask you another question. Why do you have to stay?
Because I love him.
Oof. That's rough. That's
And
rough.
that's
There's a
really
viral video going around that's on this situation. There's a woman acting like she's talking to her therapist, and her therapist gives her this whole long speech talking about how terrible this man is, all the bad things he's done to her. And then she's
and I'm
asking her
saying
why. She
I'm
asked her,
sorry,
"Why
I'm
are you?"
saying
She asked her, "Why are you staying?" Her response was, "Because I love him." It's a joke. That video's a joke, right? It's supposed to be satire. It's supposed to be an exaggeration of this situation. This is becoming your life, love, and there's nothing I'm going to tell you that's going to make you leave. If him literally cheating and you having evidence of multiple women that he's cheating on you with, and then not even sleeping with you anymore, it's not going to make you leave. I'm not quite sure what will.
I don't I don't know what to do. Like, cause maybe I guess it's the way he's nice. I'm not gonna lie. He treats me better. I was married before and divorced. My
He treats
previous
you better than your. Okay, let's get into that. What was your ex-husband doing to where
he
this is an
was
upgrade?
physically abusive.
Okay,
Like
did he also cheat?
he did.
With a lot of
But
women?
like I guess it's because of my background, my culture. I'm from Tanzania.
Okay.
And in my culture, women are like, if you get married or if you have a man, you have to like respect and, like,
Right.
it's like nobody's perfect.
Well, here's
So
the
you
thing.
have,
Here's the thing, love. I understand that. But you're trying to stop him from doing something that he's clearly not going to stop. So this cycle that you're in is nonsense, right? Because he's not going to stop. That spreadsheet is just going to get longer. All right? And you're going to waste all your time and energy looking through that phone, finding the next woman that he is betting, right? So if you are destined to stay in this relationship, then stop doing research. Just accept that he's going to cheat.
yeah.
Right? There's women who do that. I'm not going to judge you. But like, if you're committed to staying in a relationship, then stop going through his phone and worrying about who he's cheating with. Why are you putting yourself through that hell? Either leave, right? What you should do, you should leave and work on your self-esteem, because only a woman with low self-esteem will be in this situation. Okay? So either you leave and work on your self-esteem so that you can get with someone who is going to be loyal to you, or you stop worrying about who he's cheating with and just accept that the man that you love is going to be a cheater. Those are your two options. So which one do you think you can tolerate?
A part of me, I always like in my mind, I'm just tired of like, having multiple men. Like, being with this one, break up because he cheated. Being with another one, break up because he cheated. Like,
Right.
I'm tired of that. And like, I think I have this mentality, like women, we get judged most of the time with like how many people we've been with.
Okay.
So like, I think that mentality is like, it's trying to make me like, maybe I should just stay. Maybe I should just like, keep hoping for the better. And I don't want to make the same mistake, because that's the same mistake I did with my ex-husband. I thought he was going to get better. I got to the point where I was okay with him cheating, but I told myself, like, once he physically abused me again, I am gonna walk out, because I was in a relationship with him for like 6 years. And literally 3 weeks after our marriage, I did walk out.
Okay.
And mind you, even my parents by then, they were like, everyone was like, no, I don't think you're gonna ever leave this guy. Da, da, da.
Right.
But I was staying because I gave myself hope, and I said, like, let me bet on this person. Maybe he's gonna change. But he didn't change on
Right.
that.
Right.
So, but then with this one right now, he treats me right. Everything that I want, I do get, but the only problem is the women.
Yeah, and you have to decide if that's worth it. And if that's worth it, then let that man cheat in peace. And then you keep your peace by stop worrying about it, right? Or you decide that you're not going to tolerate that you deserve to be treated. There's other women out there who are in relationships, they're not being cheated on.
Yeah.
Right? They have a man who's loyal to them. So it is possible to get a man who is loyal to you, right? So why, if you know that's possible, then why would you settle for less in this situation?
Okay.
Because it's not going to get better. Because if that you're clinging to hope, I want to eradicate that right now. There is no hope in this situation. He's not changing. So you got to accept reality, right? Because the thing that may be keeping you around is that clinging to hope. But you should learn your lesson from the previous relationship or the marriage that that's not something that happens, right? And in fact, the more you allow and the more forgiving you are, the less likely the person is going to change, right?
Yeah.
So he's definitely not changing at all. So again, you have two paths. You decide which one to walk down. And if you need clarity, pretend you have a daughter and she's in the exact same situation. And what would you tell her to do?
Walk away.
Okay, well then that's what you should do. Sometimes you got to parent yourself, right? Treat yourself like you're the parent and the child, right? So if you would tell your daughter to walk away, then that's the same advice that you should take yourself.
All right. Thank you so much.
No problem, love. Best of luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. So she's not listening. I think we got through. She may still stay, but I think we gave her something to think about, though. I get it, though. I understand. If you don't think about that objectively, right? Don't think about that from your perspective. Think about it from like her perspective of the previous marriage that she was in. And then this one seemingly is a improvement of that previous situation, right? But she's judging it from like a place of contrast. So it may seem like nonsense. You may say like, I would never be in that situation. I agree. But some people have different lives. And everything people do makes sense to them, right? So my job as a coach is trying to figure out, why does this make sense to you? Okay, now let's untangle that. Because it doesn't really make sense. But people do things, even if it sounds like it doesn't make any kind of sense, in their heads it does. Contrast, but she is still not happy. Right. So hopefully she leaves. Okay, do we have any more callers? My guy caller dropped out. Shame on you, brother. What was his name? The gentleman something? Okay, people, if you have any questions pertaining to dating and relationships, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. I will bring you up. We'll talk about your issue. Hopefully solve it. Hello. Gotta go. You have a lot of patience. I don't know. I don't feel a lot of patience. I don't know about that, but I appreciate it. What's going on, Julia? Okay. Again, if you have a question pertaining to dating and relationships, hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, and I will bring you up. You have patience but low tolerance. Definitely low tolerance. My tolerance is this small. Jesus Christ. Yeah, if we got any fellas in the chat, definitely hit the button and let's talk about your issue. Don't be afraid. I know it's a lot of ladies here, but we can solve your issue as well. I am a men's coach after all. Also, open up 10 slots to coach women for a 1-hour call. You can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the arrow inside the square, the little dialog box. If you are someone interested in coaching, send a DM. I only have 2 more slots available. The 10 slots, I launched it yesterday. It went very quickly. So we have 2 more slots available, only taking on 10 of those per month. Testing it out once again. Only opening up 10, 2 more are left. So, button at the bottom of the screen, now it's for men and women. We have 2 more slots for women because the women we only get an hour-long call and then 30 days of DM support. So after we have our conversation, you get to DM me for 30 days to help you like implement what we talked about. So button at the bottom of the screen with the arrow and the dialogue box, hit that, send me a DM. We'll start a conversation. This is paid though. A couple of women have been surprised. Oh, this is paid. Yes, it's paid. It's paid. This ain't a $20 consultation either. So just be advised. It's paid. All right. All right. Let's see. But yeah, if you either hit the button at the bottom of the screen to come up to join the live so we can talk about your problem, or you can drop your question in the chat. Just know that callers get first priority. All right. Callers get first priority. First priority. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. What can I do for you?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, mine is more so how. So I moved to a new city. I'm currently in Houston, Texas. I've been single for a while now. When I say a while, I mean like 4 years. And I've been struggling with like dating and meeting people, and I really have like I set really strict boundaries with people, and as a business owner, I don't really have like a lot of time just dilly-dallying and being in talking stages with people.
Mm-hmm.
How would you recommend somebody who is like 26, in a new city, trying to figure out relationship? And then the last talking stage, I ended like a few days ago, to be honest.
Okay. What have you tried so far?
I'm into fitness. I've been to fitness events. I also don't have a problem shooting my shot.
Right.
I have shot my shots.
Nice.
Anything that I enjoy, like hobbies that I get involved in, I try to be involved. I'm very extrovert and introvert at the same time. And also another thing is my issues, I get older men attracted to me. And I am very wary of that. And it's always been a thing since I was a kid, to be honest. And I'm trying to attract people that are more like a few years older than me, but I've always, I don't know what it is, I've attracted older. And when I say older, I mean like 49, 50 as well.
And what, like, when that happens, what was like the like, where are they approaching you?
It'd be out. I go on a lot of solo dates by myself. It could be dinner. It could be at grocery stores. I'm in the trucking business. So, but I have contracts here in Houston. So, workplaces, in different places, to be honest. The last person I was talking to give you a little, he was 38. I didn't know he was 38. It was just a good conversation, good banter. We started talking in January 30th, and I let him know, like, hey, I don't really do texting. I don't phone calls. We can talk, but I would also really like to do things outside of phone conversation. After a month, I didn't see anything. I did bring it up to him. I was like, hey, I don't see where this is going. I really want to hear your input. He was like, oh, I was thinking of planning. To me, if I have to bring it up to you to plan a date, and mind you, I don't do dinner dates. I don't do like fancy restaurants, and that's common in Texas. Here, I was just like, I would like to do an activity where I kind of get to see who you are as a person. He didn't plan. I gave him 2 weeks. I didn't tell him I'm giving him 2 weeks, but I gave him grace period because I know people are busy. Didn't hear anything. A few days ago, I think I was on your live, and somebody came up and talked, and I was like, why am I entertaining this? Sent him a goodbye. I wish you nothing but the best to this not working out for me text, and then kind of kept it pushing.
Right.
That's how I've been operating. I don't know, maybe as friends like to say, I'm a cutthroat. But I also don't see why we're bantering for months on end when there's nothing happening, no progress is happening.
Right.
So,
okay.
Any suggestions, any recommendation?
Yeah. So I always say that dating problems are really downstream from social problems, right? So if you have a dating problem, you really have a social problem. People who have the most active and vibrant social lives tend to have the best dating lives, right? So you're in a new city, you're in Houston. I would not treat this as a dating problem. I would treat this as a social problem and just start socializing more, putting yourself in static environments, which you probably heard me talk about, right? Environments where you see the same people over and over again. Solo dates are great, but static environments are going to be king. That's just historically how we've always met people, right? Social media, cold approach, all that kind of stuff are relatively new inventions. Historically, what has been the most lindy is taking a more community aspect to dating, okay? So you put yourself in environments where you see the same people over and over again. This is why it was easier to make romantic connections in school and why a lot of people want to date their coworkers, because those are static environments. You start to build familiarity with the people, right? And then that opens the door to attraction. You also, the people who you befriend, the more people you befriend, the more people can potentially introduce you to someone who you may have some romantic interest in, okay? So you said that you're really into fitness. You can join like a CrossFit gym. I know that's a very big community within CrossFit gyms. Run clubs, all that kind of stuff. Just some kind of environment where there's a community aspect to it where you can kind of like just see the same people over and over again and start building those connections. And that's how I would play it. I would look at Facebook groups where they're inviting people your age who are new to the city and having events for people in that exact same situation. That's what I did when I first moved to Raleigh, North Carolina. Like, I would join clubs where it was focused on new people who come to the city, and here's how you can meet people. So you're going to meet a lot of people who are in your exact same situation if you do it that way, right? So I would just make a list of all those things, try everything out, right? And the things that seem stickier, things that kind of match your vibe, I would double down on, and I would get to know the people there. And then it will naturally, you'll start to generate momentum, social momentum, right?
Okay.
So that's going to make this a whole lot easier for you.
Yeah, I did run clubs for the first year. Let's just say Houston run clubs are a different breed.
Okay.
That song, Welcome to Houston, where everybody, it's very true commonly here. Also, another situation for me is I am in the business industry. I have in many times when people ask me, like, what do you do? I do tell them I'm in the trucking industry and all this. And with this whole saga of feminist, you're not a feminine if you're in the men's field, that's also been a conversation that's happened where I had to walk out on dates or just conversations where I have like, this is going to end here type of thing.
Okay.
That's also another, and then I'm also, when it comes to finance, like, right, obviously, yes, I don't like going to fancy, expensive dinner, but I have certain things where I splurge on. That's trips, last minute trips, once in a while, and it's been a conversation where it's like, I try to, once we get to that conversation of dating and getting to know each other, I bring up conversation because I would like to know where are you? And it's been a conversation where people have kind of been turned off by it, and I don't know why, because I'm trying to understand, like, are we in the same caliber where you're not overstretching yourself, and maybe I'm not overstressing myself. You know what I mean? Is that
Okay.
something that I should stop having a conversation about? Like once we
Are you
get to know
having
each other?
you having conversations about finances?
No, it's just where are we? Like, for example, I got to know a guy. I thought we were gonna go somewhere. And I was like, hey, I do like going on these trips. I see he worked at Costco. And I was like, our finances are a little bit different. I don't want to feel like I'm always having to take on certain things. Where are you with finance? And he was like, well, I don't want to talk about that. That's none of your business.
Well, yeah, that's probably gonna be a typical thing, right? Like flip it. You work at Costco, and the man you're dating is well off, and he says the exact same thing to you. How do you take it?
I would want to have that conversation. I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
Especially if I see us going somewhere or getting to know each other in that sense of like, hey, we're in it for the long term. I wouldn't have a problem.
Okay.
Even with my girlfriends, we do have transparency conversation about, hey, I can't do this. I can't do this time.
Okay, I hear you. But when I say flip it, I mean flip everything. Like you're the broke one, and I think you're speaking from a place.
That's what you meant.
Yes,
Okay.
You're the one working at Costco, and there's somebody telling you like you might be too broke for me to date. What's your finance look like? Right? You're probably not going to receive that too well.
Oh, well, I didn't mean it that way, nor did I want it to be
Yeah, you
that
cleaned it
way.
up. But that's still what you said though, right? Like
Yeah,
you clean,
yeah.
you use fancy language, but that's exactly what you said, and that's how he took it. So, but I get you. Like you're still a good point. Like you're not wrong for considering that. I'm right there with you, but that just tells you that you probably need a date within a certain like tax bracket then, right? So you probably should not be if Buddy approaches you and he has the Costco like name tag on, probably should politely decline. But you can also like put yourself in those environments where those men would frequent, right? You could be very strategic about this. So like there's a gym in Raleigh that costs like $150 a month to attend. Forgot the name of it. It's like Lifetime Fitness or something like that.
Yeah, I have a membership there.
Right. So those are the people you should probably be talking to, right? When it comes to joining those clubs, there are certain like higher level clubs that you have to pay to access. So like the Facebook play that I told you is probably the lower tier. The higher tier that is going to be you joining those clubs that come with the price tag, right? Okay, well then those people you got to kind of pay to play in that situation. And so yeah, high end experiences. So everything I just told you is the same thing. It's just okay. Maybe you add an additional dimension to it where there's a money filter that needs to be applied to it, right? So it's probably not
Yeah.
open to the entire community. Maybe like Bobby just said Soho House. That's a good one. So like maybe there's a price you have to pay in order to access it. It's more of an exclusive vibe to it. So you do that, you will position yourself to only engage and build relationships with people who are probably speaking your same language financially.
Yeah, well, that's where it's also now like I think that's how I'm also attracting these older men because to be in that status, I guess, and where I go, Lifetime that I go to is the one and very well known. It's majority older men, older Caucasian men to be exact.
Right.
So that's where maybe it's just like I just need to put myself out there.
Yeah, you need like two more of those. Don't have a single point of failure, right? So that's one thing that you have. Now let's add at least one or two more environments like that to the mix.
Okay.
You need at least two.
Okay. I'll keep you updated.
All right, love. Best of luck to you, right?
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Right. I feel her though. She says she's 26, doing well for herself financially. Yeah, I mean, older guys are probably going to be the only ones, not only ones, but it's probably going to be hard to lock a 26-year-old man down who got money on like that. I ain't going to lie to you. You want a relationship? I'm trying to imagine me, 25 six figures. Nah, it's not happening. It's not happening. I'll hit you when I'm 30. Right. Hit you when I'm 30. We out here. We outside right now. I'll be outside for a good 5 years, to be honest with you. Wait till my stamina drops. You feel me? A mature, older man is what I'll go for. What would make him mature? What specifically would make the older man mature? $33 next month. Let's go. Getting up there. I wouldn't mind 36 max, but it'd be 40 and up approaching. Well, how old are you, Maya? Being mature is subjective. I hear that. Older doesn't mean better. No, it does not. It does not. At all. His character, okay. You just swap words there. That's at the same level of vagueness. What about his character will make him mature? Sometimes older is worse. It's also very true. It's also very true. Can avoidant and anxious be secure? Yeah, if they do the work to become secure. It's going to be hard if one is anxious and one is avoidant. That's the worst person for you to be with. Sometimes younger or too immature. I mean, yeah, I think that would be expected, right, Mr. O'Neill? If they're younger, they would be more immature. What environment you suggest to meet those men there? Like, per the last caller? Is that what you're asking? Oh, those tax bracket men. Just environments where there's like, money acts as a filter. So there's a price tag. So you're not going to environments where it's free for all. You're probably going to a higher end luxury club, right? Like Lifetime Fitness, which is very pricey. But I had a doctor friend who tried to convince me to go out there. A lot of guys do do a good job networking in those type of like gyms. Can I work out between a secure and an avoidant, or should I cut my losses? Yeah, it can work out, but like, what is causing you to even ask that question? Like, what is the avoidant doing? Just because it can work out doesn't mean it will work out for you. They have great amenities, indoor pool, sauna, massage chairs. All right. So all the people with bread revealing themselves in the chat. That's what we doing, Eva. That's the game we playing. We signaling the money on. All right. Eva, you supposed to give like the update. You supposed to call in and give the update. What's going on, bro?
Hello.
Yo.
Good evening. How you doing?
Great. How about yourself, bro?
Blessed, man.
Good. Your audio's kind of wonky right now, bro.
Say that again.
Your audio is real low.
Hold on. Let me increase the volume. Are you hearing me now?
That's better. What's going on?
Okay. First of all, I just want to thank you for all you do here every day. I try to follow you sometime from time to time. I appreciate you. I pray that God leads you in the best direction so that you're able to give guidance to others. Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, I got a question I want to ask you. Like, I'm married twice. I'm divorced twice. But I still believe in marriage. And I do want to marry again. But one was based on cheating, and the other one was based on disrespect from her kids over me. Then we broke up. But I'm a man of integrity in a relationship. It's very paramount to me. Promiscuity is not allowed in my life. Because I did one at a time. At the same time, I believe in accountability, honesty, and so forth. So
Right.
a lot of time when people don't understand you, my brother, they seem to walk away. Instead of asking you what are your principles or what are your core values, to try to understand what you really stand for. So this has been like a challenge. What's your advice if you want to make a move again to get married?
So you said what was the challenge?
One was cheating.
No, you said something has been the challenge since you've been single. What's the challenge now?
No, I have no challenge right now when I'm single.
Okay.
I say the challenge is when people don't understand you, they seem to walk away. And I have my core values that I stand by in terms of relationship. I date one at a time. Accountability is very paramount to me. I don't allow promiscuity. Honesty, loyalty is what I do. But a lot of time, people just want to like date multiple or cheat, disrespect in the marriage, that kind of stuff. So, but I still believe in love because I still believe in marriage and I do want to marry again. So, what's your advice if I want to go towards that route again without having that in my mind or holding me back when I meet the right one?
So what is in your mind and holding you back currently?
Just being skeptical, like I must meet that person again that we maybe we're not able to take accountability of their actions. They want to be honest. They want to be that kind of person that want to date on one-on-one because sometimes they might say yes along the line. They change. And I travel a lot based on the nature of my job. And I'm focused finding money for building the family. But sometimes they just do crazy things behind you.
Okay, I'm having a hard time understanding you, brother. So you're saying that when you try to date,
Yeah.
you're thinking that the women are dating other people and will potentially cheat?
Correct.
Okay. All right. You kind of just have to get over that, man. There's no magical solution that I can give you. You kind of just have to take a risk, take a gamble. Yes, people can cheat on you. That's very true. 100%. That can happen. But you don't put your trust in other people. You put your trust in yourself. You put your trust in yourself that like no matter what happens, you can handle it. Right? And that you can make better decisions at this phase in life where it will actually lower the odds of that occurring. But the odds will never be zero.
Okay.
Right? And that's even more true if you actually reflected on your past marriages and kind of try to understand where things went wrong, right? And how you contributed poorly to the dynamic. Either you didn't vet appropriately or, you just contributed poorly to the marriage. It's like, okay, you own that, you take accountability, and then you course correct moving forward. You pay attention to the women that you choose. You make sure you're on your P's and Q's. And then you just trust that whatever happens, life happens for you, not to you, right? So if you believe that, it becomes true. If you don't believe that, it's not going to be true. But if you really do believe that life happens for you, not to you, then any negative thing that happens, you can see that it serves you in some way, even if it is painful.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. My second question is then how, like, I don't know if you have that guide, right? How can you know when you meet the right one? How can you know that she's the one?
Because it comes from a flawed premise where it's like you think there is the one.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
You just look for chemistry and compatibility. You first thing you look for is, do we vibe? Do I enjoy you as a person? And then you also say, okay, well, or do our lifestyles align, right? If she checks both of those boxes, that's somebody you can work with.
Okay. All right. Thank you, brother.
No problem, bro.
Appreciate you.
Best luck to you, all right?
Yep. God bless you. Thank you.
I deserve a reward for that one. I don't know if y'all was following what was being said, but I relied upon the Holy Spirit. I don't know how I even teased out what the problem was. I'm impressed with myself. Not only was it like a language barrier, we also had a whistling willow in the background that fucking was incredibly distracting. But we figured it out. We figured it out. I like the name Maya. All right, if you have a question pertaining to dating and relationships, button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, you can request up, and I'll solve your issue. Okay? I would have lost my mind. You have great patience. Y'all don't know me in person. Y'all knew me in person. Y'all stop making that patience comment. You can also drop your question in the chat. I will answer it there as well. You date someone really religious, they may less likely to cheat. Someone Muslim, Christian, Jewish. People, the faith are parabolic. They cluster at the extremes, meaning some of them are definitely going to cheat. They're definitely going to cheat. They're at the extremes. So they got the worst cheaters on the planet, but also the most like chaste people, like committed and loyal people. But they are at the extreme. That was a woman who I follow, used to be, OF model and stripper. Gave her life to Christ. Now makes content, popular content about like Christianity. It's on the poll. Recently on the poll, like this was like the 30th. She held up a newspaper. It said March 30th, and then she hopped on the poll. And I'm like, really? You twerking for Jesus? I didn't know that was a thing. But you gotta be really discerning. She bad in the motherfucker too. I wish I could like drop her at. She bad in the bitch now. That's a bad. I watched a lot of that video, but I felt dirty afterwards. Felt dirty afterwards. All right, let me see. Susanna. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Great, how are you?
I am doing good. I think I've spoke with you about maybe a month ago or so.
Okay.
I just have a quick question.
Sure. What's going on?
So, I'm 28. My boyfriend is 48.
Okay.
And he has 2 kids. I've never been married. He has been married and he's divorced. Anyways, all that. But my question is, he's been divorced for the past 5 years.
Okay.
The question is that I feel like sometimes there are certain things that I don't trust him with. For example, he has a second phone. I have his passwords, right, of his phone.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I care for, because I would he left his phone so many times that I did not check it. Recently, he started taking his second phone with him. In the beginning, he was just keeping it there at home. Right now, he started taking it, and then sometimes he would leave it. That would confuse me. Why would you even need it if it's most of the time? Doesn't matter. This is just a phone thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then everything is good, but this is something that I feel like is wrong. And honestly, I really don't know what it is. If I'm being completely honest with myself, I just don't know. There's something wrong. I just don't know what it is.
Okay. So what's your question here?
Yeah, my question is, how should I play? I feel like there's something missing. How could I figure that out? At least understand exactly. One of the girls said intuition. So, like, how can I figure out what I feel? Like, exactly when it comes to him. There is something that I don't understand. So, how could I figure that out?
So what's the second form for?
So, technically, it's just for work. And mind you, about like a year or 6 months, almost a year ago, right? I have checked it. There was nothing on it.
Wait.
Besides the
When you called in the first time, what did I tell you?
I wasn't talking about that at all.
So what?
I wasn't talking about like that. I was talking about something else.
You were talking about another situation?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, the same person, but just a different situation with him.
What was the first situation?
I was talking about like how do you feel about the age difference, and that's pretty much it. It was not regarding this. This is just something that I just started feeling recently. About I'd say a month or so. Not even a month. 3 weeks, 2 weeks recently.
I vaguely remember having a conversation about a second phone, and somebody went through and there was
I
nothing.
haven't talked to you about that before.
Okay,
This
okay.
is the first time.
All right, I'm gonna believe
I
you.
recently started like seeing like he's taking his phone with him,
Okay.
and then randomly he's leaving it there. So how come sometimes I see you having it in your pocket all the time, and then sometimes I just see you leaving it there.
Gotcha. Okay. So,
You know?
and you said the second phone is for work?
Yes.
Okay. And you went through it before and nothing was in it?
Nothing. The only thing I found is pictures from his old.
There was nothing from work in it?
Honestly, no. It was just like simple conversations. I even, because it was an iPhone, so I even went to deleted messages, so there was no WhatsApp on it. Nothing. Honestly, nothing at all.
Okay.
Besides pictures, like that were like from 2021, or old.
Okay.
2020.
Okay. How long did you go through it? How long ago did that happen?
Before when I checked it, that second phone.
Mm-hmm.
About like I'd say 6 months ago, like months ago, or a year, about that. A while ago.
Okay, so you checked it a year ago, and he just recently started taking it with him.
He started recently. Usually, he would just leave it on his desk. Recently, he started taking it away with him to work and stuff. Then this last Sunday, he left it there, and I didn't want to go through it. Honestly, I was like, it's not, and I'm just, let's say it's privacy, you know. But part of me really wanted to check it. Part of me was scared. So.
And that's the only other difference you've observed is he just taking two phones. Has there been any other shifts in his behavior?
It's hard to tell with him, honestly, because let's put it this way: I don't trust him.
Why do you not trust him?
In him, how he is. It's not that I've never caught him cheating on me. My intuition telling me as a woman, honestly, that I don't trust him. I cannot tell you something that it's not, especially he was my boss, so I used to see how he communicates probably with women. So
okay.
I don't. That's why I'm asking you, because I don't know all this. So I want to know if it's just like my intuition talking, or it's just something that it's like. By the way, like next week, maybe how Friday, we are going somewhere. Just him and I.
Mm-hmm.
Of his kids. So we'll see if he's gonna take his phone with him and how the
You said that you saw him how he dealt with other women. How did he deal with other women?
Flirty.
Flirty?
Flirty is the right way to put it.
You said he used to be your boss?
Yes.
Okay, did he flirt with you?
No.
He didn't flirt with you.
No.
Okay. So how did y'all end up dating?
I'm sorry?
How did y'all end up dating?
It was after I've known him for almost 2 years. He was my boss for 2 years. And would say, we just, I mean, I do IT, right? So he needed help with something, and I initiated the conversation. So I sent him like food and stuff like that. No, it was all, he gave me kind of like a little green flag, and I took it all the way, So it's not like I could feel 100% he was nervous because,
Okay. Okay. So why do you think he never flirted with you?
I'm sorry?
Why do you think he never flirted with you?
It's not that. It's that when I saw how he used to flirt with other people, it was like, it's not that he never flirted with me. Maybe later, after we started dating, he was saying certain things,
Sure.
During that time when I wasn't with him, I saw how he was. My idea when it comes to him, it was like he is a flirt, he is a red flag. Right now that I am in a situation, but you know what I mean? So,
Not necessarily. Like
no,
you don't have enough.
maybe I'm paranoid on someone's
Yeah,
side.
I think
Maybe,
I think you're paranoid. Your life is probably so comfortable that you're probably creating a problem here. I'm not saying that he's not doing anything. What I'm telling you is normally there will be a cluster of red flags. You can't say somebody flirting who's single is a red flag because
I
they're
will
single.
tell you one of the things, and I don't want to hold you for long, but he mentioned to me, right? This is just coming back to me. He mentioned to me about a year and a half or almost 2 years ago that I don't remember the whole conversation, but he said that he cheated on his ex-wife. That was for me something like, okay, like,
Why did he cheat on his ex-wife?
and well, he didn't give me a good answer, honestly.
Did you ask him?
Yes, I did.
What did he say?
He said, man, he said, that doesn't make sense to me at the time. That's it.
Okay, yeah, that's a red flag. For sure.
I have accepted the answer as one of the comments say, yes, I have accepted the answer and I took it for too long. Yes, that's a red flag. Because he cheated, it doesn't matter. Maybe if he was separated, but he didn't mention he was separated.
Yeah, the cheating is, yes, a red flag, but the bigger red flag is the explanation around cheating. If somebody learned their lesson, they integrated the experience, then that's somebody who probably learned from their mistake. Somebody who just shrugs their shoulder and was like, yep, just something I did, that's someone who's probably going to do it again. Okay? So if you don't trust them, then leave.
It is hard to leave because
I hear you, love, but to be honest, I got to keep the calls moving. I can't.
I'm sorry,
I can't hold your hand through this. But it's
but
like
thank
if you
you
don't,
so much.
absolutely.
I appreciate you.
If you don't trust them, you got to leave. If you don't want to leave, then you have to stay and trust them. All right. All right. Take care. All right. Afro Muse.
Hello.
Hi.
So yeah, I have a quick question about I'll just give some brief context. So I was seeing someone, well, we were dating for about just over 2 months, and I mean, everything was great. We met online. He was taking initiative, and I was content with everything that was happening. And so one of the things that I mentioned early on with us dating was I didn't really want to get physically involved early on. I didn't even want to kiss for at least a couple of months. I just am tired of getting involved with people in that way, and I just know how it affects me. So that was just kind of what I said to him, and he respected it. He was fine. And so we hit like that 2 month mark, like a couple weeks ago. And so eventually we ended up kissing after a date. And then I feel like things started getting weird. Like, I just felt like he wasn't as intentional. He wasn't, well, that's not really true. That's not really true, actually. He was. I think I'm just like thinking back in retrospect and trying to make sense of it. So I think he actually was. He was very affectionate with his words. He was very just reassuring of the whole connection and how he felt about me. And it was moving into the like relationship territory. We were kind of both circling around that. We were talking about like how we would start like spending the summer and things like that. I have 2 kids, and so he was always very respectful of my time and like wasn't super demanding. Like, I don't like to be on the phone all the time and stuff, so he was just very respectful of that. So after about 2 months, we had a date the other night, and after the date, he was like, I have a gift for you. It's at my car. So we went to his car, which was in his parking garage, and he gave me the gift. It was cute. It was a little teddy bear. It was cute. So he gave me the gift, and then there was this awkward moment where I was like, I guess I need to figure out where I'm going to get my Lyft, because I took a Lyft and I didn't drive. And he kind of was like, okay, and was like ready to say goodbye. And I was like, or you could give me a ride home. Like, I live like 10 minutes from there. And he was like, And I was like, what? Okay. He was like, yeah, I don't know if, like, would you be comfortable with that? And I was like, I mean, with you dropping me off? Sure. And he just was like, I don't know, hesitant about it. And I was like, it's cool. I'll go get a Lyft. And I was like, I just feel like you were ready to just like say goodbye to me in the middle of this parking garage, as if like you didn't have me walk over here. So it just, I don't know. It feels like, it just felt like he just didn't care. Like if I don't know. It just felt weird. So I was like, I feel like you're not really being chivalrous. And we haven't had like any conflict up till now, but I was like, I felt like he could have at least walked me back out of the parking garage and then like across the street so that I could, get my Lyft. And so he just, I don't know, he was like really weird about it. He was like, I feel like the energy just changed. Like we had a really good date and then the energy changed. And I was like, well, the energy changed because I feel like I'm just not sure why you're not able to give me a ride home. And something I missed that I should also mention is, before I mentioned about him giving me a ride home, we had plans to watch this documentary together. The following day. And I said, I was like, well, what if I just come to your place to watch the documentary? Because I don't want to be in a relationship with someone I don't know where they live. I don't know that they live alone, all that kind of stuff. And so I just made the suggestion. He did the same thing. He was like, ooh, he was like, what time? And I was like, does it matter? He was like, well, March Madness is on. He's like really into sports. I was like, okay. I was like, well, whatever time we were planning on watching the movie and, or the documentary. And he was like, okay, but he like, that's honestly when it got weird, was at that moment. So between the two things, I just felt like he just was, I just felt off about it. I felt like, okay, we had this date and now you're like done. And he lives an hour away. So he, made the effort to come out every time and stuff. But it just felt weird. So basically we ended up having like a little conflict there, and like I expressed that I felt like there were some things that he did that just didn't feel like as chivalrous to me, and he apologized. It was fine. We we parted ways or whatever. He did walk me back over, but we parted ways. And then the next morning, basically he sends me a text like when I'm talking about like what time we're gonna meet. He sends me this long text, and it's basically like, I have a lot going on right now, and I don't think that I'll be ready for a relationship for like a couple of months. You know, basically ended things. So I immediately responded, and I was like, okay, thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. Like, you know, I wish you well. And then he responded back and was like, are we able to still keep in contact? You know, I really like our conversations. And I was like, well, given that you just said that, you know, you're not able to like be intentional for a relationship, I pretty much have the same standards for friendships. I don't think it would be a good idea. And that's just where I left it. But yeah, I knew him for 2 months. So my question is, I'm kind of feeling like, now that I've thought about it, I just want to know what exactly happened. Like, what was it that shifted from like 2 days prior, everything was fine, to, I don't know, like, it just felt weird. And so I'm just trying to figure out, like, should I, I don't feel like I should, but I guess I just need further confirmation. Like, should I call him and just ask why he was so invested and ready to like move into like relationship, genuinely was like, no, I'm like not afraid of my emotions, this is how I feel about you, to like texting me that he had a lot going on. And I didn't know any of this stuff was going on. Like, I knew one of the things was going on, but there were all these things that he was mentioning, and I was like, I had no clue those things were going on.
What was going on?
So I don't know. What'd you say?
What things were going on?
So he had something was going on with his mom and you know, her significant other with like legal issues that were kind of, you know, stressing him out. He had like a really stressful work meeting, and some dynamics were changing at work that I know was kind of like weighing on him. He said something about a friend. This part I didn't know. Something about a friend, like that he had just ended a friendship, and that was kind of like he was still going through that. And then not sure about, like, because of the thing at work, he wasn't sure about his job security or whatever. Yeah, so those were the things that, like, he mentioned, and he was just saying, like, he felt like he didn't have the capacity to really, well, he said that he thought about what I said about the chivalry. He agreed, and he apologized for it. He said he was, like, focusing on, like, the big things and trying to make sure that I had a good dating experience, but he missed like the little things, which again, all this, like, I'm not looking to be with him after he said that he didn't want to be with me. I'm more so wanting to know what was the catalyst, like what shifted things so drastically that we go from, I don't know, it just felt so secure and fine, to like he was willing to never speak to me again, is how I looked at it.
Gotcha. Okay. So, how did y'all meet?
We met online.
Hinge?
Yes.
And y'all were an hour apart?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who changed their location?
Who changed their location?
Or did you just set your parameters up to where you can meet people an hour apart? Like,
I didn't. I mean, I think the most that I guess we both would have had to, but I don't think I did. I think I left it at like, I'm in like the Philly area, so I kind of wanted to keep it somewhat close to there.
So do you know what the parameters were? Where you match people who were like, what, 10 miles out, 15 miles out, 20 miles out?
Just 5 or 10 miles is what I put.
Okay. So when you matched him on Hinge, did he match your city? Like, was his location like in your city or one of the surrounding cities?
No, he's in Jersey. But I get a lot of people in Jersey for some reason. So I know I didn't set anything, but
okay, he must have set his parameters out further. Okay, that's fine. All right. He's in Jersey, you're in Philly. How long did y'all date?
2 months, just over 2 months.
It's over 2 months. Okay. And how frequently did y'all see one another?
So we saw each other once a week, and I was just starting to ask him to like rev it up a bit. Like a couple days prior, I was like, I feel like we should see each other a bit more. And he was like, at first I was like, I feel like we should talk a bit more. I said that like 3-4 weeks ago, and he was accommodated that. He called me more as soon as I asked, and then I was like, I would like to see you more, and he was like, sure. Do you think like once a week, twice a week? He didn't seem to have an issue with that.
Okay. So what did y'all do for dates?
All kinds of things. He usually planned them. He like took me to dinner on the first date, but then after that, it was like more active things. Like took me to the flower show, or like like we ate a good amount. The last date was the movies, which was like probably the worst date. Well, I mean, like the most, I don't know.
Okay.
Just flat date, but yeah.
So the first issue that you had was him not driving you back to your place or your car or your place, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
to my house.
So have you ever been in his car before?
No, but he's been in my car.
Okay. He's hiding something.
That's what it feels like.
He's hiding something. And him hiding something is the reason why he put up with all the constraints that you had. Understand, no desirable man is putting up with like the frame that you set. Like no kissing for months. Certainly no sexual activity for months. And we're just going to go out on dates. Assume somebody's hiding something. If they agree to that, they're either hiding something or they're extremely desperate.
If they agree to that, you think
Yes,
that
100%.
no man is going to agree to that?
You have 2 kids, right? And he didn't have any kids, right?
Correct.
You have 2 kids, right? 2 kids by itself is fine. It's not a problem, but it does create more friction when it comes to connect with people, especially with people who don't have kids, okay? He's an hour away. You have 2 kids. He's taking on dates, spending the money for the dates, right? And he's getting nothing out of the interaction.
Well, like, I talk to him, and like, we talk, and
No. For you to pull this off, your personality, nope. For you to pull this off, your personality would have to be amazing. So amazing. I can't even think of a person's personality is that great.
my personality or his personality?
Like your personality would need to be amazing. And I can't even think of a person who has a personality that amazing. To date somebody for...
I mean, you don't really... That's...
No,
okay.
I promise you I'm not the crazy person here. I'm giving you the reality of the situation.
I just
right?
said, I feel like you don't really know my personality.
What I'm telling you is, if it was that great, I would see it on this call. I don't see it. If you are going to be in a situation where you're like, we're not doing any physical contact, I'm going to date you for 2 months. Mm-hmm. And I have 2 kids, you have no kids, and I'm an hour away and you're coming to me and you're paying for the dates. Come on, beloved. That is who is signing up for that? Again,
a guy like a good man.
No. A man who you desire, other women also desire. Right? So all the men who are desirable are desired by a lot of women. So you're basically saying he's saying no to all these other women and driving an hour away for a woman that he can barely touch. He's dating for 2 months, taken out, right? Come on. That don't even make a little bit of sense. Doesn't make a little bit of sense. So the only person who would say yes to that is a person who is not desirable, aka is very desperate, which you wanted him. So that means that he doesn't fit that category. Because if you wanted him, then he's desirable. If you want him, other women want him, right? Unless you're settling. Mm-hmm. Or he is hiding something, right? Those are only 2 variables here. Only 2 variables. I don't want you to be in this situation again. That's why I'm being so matter of fact about it, right? Because I don't want you leaving this with the lesson that, okay, he's hiding something. And then with the next man, you have the same approach. And then you're not understanding why every man is turning you down or ghosting you. Because there's no desirable man who's agreed into this. This is literally a one-sided benefit. He didn't get anything.
It's not one-sided. I feel like I just got divorced a couple years ago. Okay. And I just didn't want to rush in to being physical with all these men, and then
Yeah.
I don't know. I
don't
feel like
I
a
don't
couple
disagree
months
with that.
doesn't.
I don't disagree with that. I have no problem with if you told me that you were abstaining for marriage. I'll celebrate that. I'm not saying anything. There's no problem with that,
I'm
right?
not abstaining for marriage, definitely
I
not.
know,
And
but
it's not like it's
but
easy. I just
but the thing is when you say like, "Oh, I'm not kissing you for months" and stuff like that, like there's literally no progression. You were progressing in what you expected of him, and he was not getting much of anything out of this connection. So you were like, "Oh, I want to see you more. I want to talk to you more." So things were progressing on your end based on what you wanted, but he wasn't getting anything. Progression to him would be physical, right?
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was essentially a one-sided connection. Now, the thing that makes me think that he's hiding something is the excuses that he gave you, and then the weirdness around. The car was weird. The car read like it wasn't his car. Either it wasn't his car or something was in the car that he didn't want you to see. One of those two things. Either it wasn't his car, and it was clear it wasn't his car, like bedazzled steering wheel or some shit, or there was some stuff in the car that he didn't want you to see, which is why he was like that don't make any kind of sense, right? Someone say his wife's car. Yeah, very possible. And then the whole idea of you going to his place, he ended things because he saw that you were making concessions or attempts to progress things in a way that would reveal whatever it is that he is hiding.
Yeah.
That's why he ended things. That's why he ended things out the blue. Everything else told you was bullshit. He was like, "Oh, if I keep dating her, then she's going to have to find out this." So I was hoping to probably sleep with her before anything was revealed, but she wants to come over here and get in my car and stuff like that before I can actually get what I want. So I'm just going to go ahead and end things.
Yeah, I told him there was no way he was coming to my house until I went to his house.
Right, that's all this is. It is clear as day because the excuses don't make sense. Also, I'm weird about people giving you a lot of excuses. I'm weird about that.
He said, oh, okay, now I sound so naive right now. I feel
It's
so
fine.
naive.
Listen. I know we just had a rough conversation. It's fine. It's coming from love. I want you to your net situation. I'm trying to give you the information you need so that it works for you. Okay? I want it to work for you. I want the next person. I don't want you wasting 2 months.
Yeah.
You probably want love. You probably want it. You probably want to be married again. You probably want, another man to be in the household. So I want to give you what you need in order to make that happen. Okay? So we've all been naive before, but in hindsight, it's 2020. You're telling me this after it's happened, so it's easier for me to do my job, right? So don't think that you're being naive here. But the thing is, a little bit. a little bit, a little naive, not a lot naive, just a dash of naivete.
We did kiss. They're saying we didn't kiss, and that we
Okay.
did kiss.
Well, I'm glad y'all made that progression. It took him 100 hours to get there, but he made it happen. I'm proud of him. So, yeah, he definitely is hiding something with this situation. So I'm glad.
Me asking him wouldn't. Okay.
Yeah, he's not going to admit it. And the nail in the coffin was like the laundry list of excuses that he gave. Like people, when they start bullshitting you, like and this and then that happened and this, I don't think all that's going on. It doesn't sound real. It doesn't sound realistic. Maybe one of those things is happening, but like all of those.
Well, the reason why I think it could have been all of those things is because early on, I kind of noted to him, I felt like we were a little different in that he's very like hyper positive.
Okay.
Everything is just everything's fine. Everything's always okay. It's not that I'm a negative person,
Okay.
but I felt like he was very adamant always that like nothing gets to him. He doesn't let anything get to him. He doesn't let anything like stress him out. To the point where I was like, okay, I feel like this is a bit like overkill. And so for him to then say he was so overwhelmed with everything
doesn't make sense. Yeah, when things don't make sense, get out of there. Like it needs to make sense. If it doesn't make sense, that when I'm asking y'all these questions and I'm thinking, right, all I'm looking for is whether things make sense or they don't. That's all I'm looking for. What makes sense, what doesn't make sense, and then I keep asking questions till shit makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell you for certain that he's hiding something. I can tell you that with 100% certainty he's hiding something. 100% certainty. Because the shit don't make sense. It does not make sense for a woman. Even his excuse. Think about that. Oh, I was focused on the big things, but I guess I didn't focus on the small things. That is an R word level excuse. What are you talking about? You know to take somebody. What was literally, why did you not do it? Because I asked you to do it. This isn't a situation where I didn't ask you and I'm mad because you didn't volunteer. No, I asked you to and you were like, no. So why did you say no? Explain that.
Yeah.
Right. Doesn't make sense. So it's like, okay, if it doesn't make sense, then you're hiding something. What are you hiding? Yeah. So you don't need to ask him any more questions. I would say if you're not comfortable opening yourself up physically, I'm not talking about like going all the way, but at least like kissing and stuff like that, it might mean that you need some time alone to process the previous connection that you had. Or to unpack what is blocking you there, right? Because it's a normal progression, right? Again, even in your personal situation, I'm looking for it to make sense. Because if you told me that you were abstaining and stuff like that, or celibate, that makes sense to me, right? But you're coming from a place of like, it's almost like pain or avoiding. It's like almost like you're taking this approach to avoid somebody hurting you or something like that, right?
No,
What is it?
I just got some advice that it was a good idea to wait because it kind of weeds out men who aren't serious about you.
So wait for kissing that long?
Yeah.
Who told
They
you?
actually said 3 months, and
Who told
was
you that?
like,
First of all, who told you that?
I forget her name, but it's a dating coach, and she has a book, and a friend of mine was like, you should read this book.
Oh my God, man. That's the thing.
And
There's nothing, you can just call yourself a dating coach. There's nothing you have to do. People ask me all the time, what's your credentials? I'm like, you don't need them to be a dating coach. Like anyone can, you can call yourself one after this call. It's just,
oh my gosh.
you know, you can do it. But it's like people will judge you off of the content that you have and the results that you're able to get for people, right? So you got to really pay attention to that. 3 months for kissing sounds like very outdated advice. It certainly does not apply to 2026. 2026? 3 months to kiss? No. That, you know what you're optimizing for? You're optimizing for men who have a lot of sexual shame, or you're optimizing for men who are desperate. Those are going to be the only men who will put up with that. 3 months for a kiss is insane. Right?
Really?
Yeah. Like, think about it. Who would agree to that?
I think I don't know. It sounded like serious men would agree to that.
No. Like, what would they be serious about? Right? Like, they're getting to know you. They're not sold on you yet.
Right.
Right? They're not sold on you yet. So, like, they're going on the date. They're getting some progression. Like, I'm with you if you talk about, like, physical intimacy, like, going all the way. Yeah, that weeds out people who are probably not. But even then, that's even a poor strategy in 2026, unless we're talking within a Christian context. If we're talking about an abstaining, like, for marriage context, that works because you're dating someone who is on the same page and doing the same thing. A worldly dating perspective, tell somebody desirable who you met on Hinge where he's talking to 10 other people that you're waiting 90 days to sleep with him and see how that works for you. He may wait, but Susie's getting knocked down. Tiffany's getting knocked down. Miranda's getting knocked down. He's knocking down in the process of waiting for you, assuming that he likes you that much. He's not just dating you and then saying no to everyone else. That's not happening in 2026 from a worldly perspective. It's not happening.
Well, I mean, I wasn't only dating him, but he was the person who I was hoping would,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I got you.
So, yeah, that's the only thing. So now that gives me peace to see that it wasn't your decision to wait 3 months to kiss somebody. It's somebody giving you terrible advice. No, I'm not saying to slob them down after the match. Like, where you at? I want to lock lips right now. Like, you got to do that. But, like, 3 months, that's no.
Like, we spent Valentine's Day together. If he was with another woman, wouldn't he have spent Valentine's Day with her?
No, in this situation, Buddy was just hiding something. I'm talking about for the future. When you talk to other men, like if you try to play the same playbook, it ain't gonna go your way. The only men it will work on are men you wouldn't even want.
Okay.
You would, if you were gonna pop the balloon, you would pop your balloon and everyone else's balloon. That was the type of guys this strategy would work on.
Good to know. I need to change my strategy.
That's it. That's it.
Okay. All right, and I will not ask him any clarifying
Yeah,
questions.
don't ask him. It's not gonna help. He's gonna lie to you again.
Yeah.
But keep me posted on how the dating life. Let me know if like your kissing rule changed, if it yields any more positive results. Okay.
Got it.
All right, love.
Thank you.
You take care. All right. It was an interesting call. That wasn't like a decision that she was making though. Because if it was, that was going to require more work to kind of unpack that. No more calls. If you have a question, leave it in the chat. If you want coaching, man or woman, hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the arrow within the dialogue box. Send me a DM. We'll start a conversation. There's only 2 slots open for women though. So act fast. And that's for the whole month of April. Maybe he was trying to get something from her but felt guilty and changed mind. I don't think so, Nika. I think he was trying to crack that. That's what I think he was trying to do. And he was trying to crack that before without revealing what he was hiding. And the expectations that she had would require him to reveal what he was hiding. The car was the giveaway. If the car wasn't there, I could almost buy the house excuse. The car excuse that was the signal. The house excuse, you can make an argument. The whole I can't drive you to your house, which is 10 minutes away. That was the nail in the coffin. That's what did it. That's definitely what did it. All right, what was y'all's favorite call from tonight? Probably the last one, right? But what was y'all's favorite call? Or most insightful call? Or thing that you learned? I gotta block these people who, it's like these authors of these romantic books keep sending their bots to spam my videos. It's getting fucking annoying. Like I want to find the author and send them hate mail and like, you know, crack my knuckles. Send a gift of me cracking my knuckles in their email. Terrible strategy. It's a sign you need someone. Need someone for what? Ariana. It's a sign that I need someone for what? To clean up my comment section on my videos? You said block the Susanna girl. She definitely called in before about that. I need someone to love. That's why they were sending bots about their text her to get her obsessed book that they have. I don't think that's the case, Ariana, but I'm with you. The 2 phones girl. I knew I wasn't tripping. She's definitely called about that before. 100%. I'm like, my memory is pretty sharp with this kind of shit. And I've heard this exact story before. Why are you lying to me about it? Are you making a mistake or are you just lying to me about it? I don't like lying. Now, you know, it's my one trigger. If you lie to me, I don't like it. I despise that shit. I'm like, someone definitely called about 2 phones they looked into and there was nothing on the phone. I come with an update. What's your update, SWAT? The chat is like the FBI, but I like who remembers. You're not going to get past, even if you get past me, you're not getting past the chat. Coach, you peep how she revealed herself when you asked her when she started going through the phone? Yeah, because she was like 6 months ago or a year ago. I remember. Like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I knew you already did this shit. But, and then like, he didn't flirt with me, but then he did flirt with me. I don't know if you're just making up a story or what's going on. If you're just bored, but this isn't like 300 random people in the chat. It's a lot of people who've been here for months listening to stories every single day. If you called in before, they're going to remember. I'm likely going to remember it. If I don't, the mods or some other person in the chat is definitely going to remember it. Because Hannah clocked it immediately. Right after I said it, she was like, yeah, you called in before. About this specific situation. We are the gatekeepers. Right, right. I don't know why people do that, man. Don't lie to me. I'm going to, like, I need you to be honest so I can solve the situation. Start lying, I can't help you, and you're wasting everybody's time. I can only take a certain amount of calls per day, so you're taking up somebody else's slot who has an actual problem. My update is about the guy who's 18, who never dated before. We met in college. Okay. I think I remember you, love. This was the one who was like acting like his parents, like he didn't have money. Yes, he was stingy. Okay, what's going on? Also, why are you not following? I thought I told you to follow me last time. I'm very upset with you. Very upset with you. Okay, tell me, what's the update? What's going on? Are y'all still together? Appreciate you, love. Are y'all still together, or I'm hoping? All right, go ahead and request. I'll let you up. I'll make a exception. I was done with calls, but you called in a few times, so let's go ahead and request. I'll let you up. Appreciate you, Eva. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay.
Uh-oh. Bad
doing quite
news.
okay.
Tell me about it. What's going on?
Okay, well, it's been like since October that we started talking all that, and the last update I gave you all is about him being kind of stingy with money. Well, I met his parents, and I can definitely say that it is from the parents. They're very like, even though they have money and the house is really nice, they're just very like cheapskates. They don't like to spend money. It's just that. But I said, okay, maybe with time, he'll get used to it, things like that. And so we continued talking. And I just want to say right now that I did have to break up with him and leave him. But no. I will give the reason now. So okay. A little backstory as to why I did this is ever since this new semester, we meet only one day a week, which is Friday, because that's the day we have a class together. Mm-hmm. And so every Friday we say, okay, since class finishes around 11 and I leave at like 2, that we will have lunch together. And so we go to the cafeteria, grab some lunch, and eat together. We sometimes share and just talk or play card games. That was just like our whole habit of doing that every Friday. Mm-hmm. Come last Friday, we're walking to the cafeteria. I asked him, oh, what do you want to get for lunch today? I'm thinking of getting sushi. He said, no, I brought lunch from home. I said, oh, but today's Friday. And he said, and he, like in the cafeteria with all people around us, turns to me and yells at me and says, I'm not obligated to having lunch with you every week. Money doesn't grow on trees for me. I don't have like a flowing income. I can't afford it. So I'm shocked because, mind you, this guy could not even look at me in the eyes in October, being super shy, right. And is all of a sudden just yelling at me in the middle of the cafeteria. So I'm like, whoa, okay. I go, I buy my lunch, and I sit down. I try not to talk to him a lot because obviously that was not nice and disrespectful. And so it's quiet. I was gonna meet my friend that day after having lunch with him. Like 5 minutes before she comes, he says, okay, I'm sorry, but you have to understand that you've been peer pressuring me into buying lunch every week. And I said, wait, what do you mean peer pressuring you? You've been buying your own lunch, paying for your own things. I pay for my own meal. You don't pay for our meals combined. You pay for yours. How could I peer pressure you into buying your own meal? Mm-hmm. That doesn't make sense. So he said, no, you've just been peer pressuring me. I don't like spending money on food. And you just made me spend money on food when I didn't want to. So I got hurt, obviously. My friends saw.
I had to go to the bathroom, and she asked him, what is going on between you and her? Why is she upset? And he said, oh, she's just upset because I didn't buy lunch today. No, that's not it. He yelled at me and then said it was my fault. So I came back, my friend left, and he wrote like a whole Declaration of Independence and said, read this. I said, no, I'm not reading anything you wrote. If you want to say something, say it to my face.
Right.
And he just apologized again, said that he's sorry for not buying lunch. I said, it's not about that. He said, well, I'm sorry for saying that being stingy about money. I said, it's not about that. It's about how you yelled at me and how you put the blame on me when you should have communicated first, maybe 4 weeks ago, about this whole thing. If you don't want to spend money on food, you could have suggested bringing 1 week food from home, the other week buying something from the cafeteria. So, yeah, and I told him, listen, after all this, I'm gonna need some time to think about it. So just give me time. Went back home, talked to my parents. They said that if he does this over something as simple as a lunch that he's paying and yells at me, then who knows what would happen in the future over bigger things. So I decided with a kind of a broken heart to just break up with him, tell him to that he needs a long road of maturing and learning things. And he begged for a second chance. I said no, because he needs to work on himself, and he's got a lot of areas where he needs to work on it. And I'm not his mom to teach him everything that he needs to learn and do.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. So how long ago did that occur, the breakup?
I think it was Saturday that I broke up with him.
Saturday. So how long were y'all in a relationship in total?
So, we actually never dated. It was more like I don't know, he never officially asked me to date. We were just like talking and hanging out with each other, like holding hands. He'd kiss my cheek, he'd bring me things, but it was never like officially declared, which I also thought it was kind of weird, because he like would walk around and like kind of show me off, but never asked me officially to be his girl. And so I just feel like I'm glad I'm out of it. Yes, I left like a bit heartbroken, but I know that it's for the best, and that it's good that I caught this behavior early on, because who knows what would have happened like in the future.
Right. So how are you holding up since it was so recent?
Well, it was hard because at some point I felt bad, because this guy like had a whole shared note on his iPhone about like date ideas and things we'd do in the summer. And that was mostly what hurt me, because all his dreams and aspirations of us. But I know that it's him who messed up, not me.
Right. You made the right decision. Is he close with his family?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess so. I did tell him to talk to them about it, ask them like how to like grow from this and learn from this.
I was asking because I don't know, my gut, I can't say this with any kind of certainty. My gut was like, his mama told him all that shit that he told you. Especially if you say...
I thought about that, because peer pressuring, those sort of words, I've never heard them out of his mouth.
Because it's like you said the parents were stingy as well. He probably telling about the cute girl he's dating, and then she's like, you're buying lunch every day. Why aren't you taking your lunch? And I'm like, it sounds like his mama was talking to you through him. So, again, this is just a guess, but spidey senses were tingling when you said that, and just the verbiage, like it didn't sound like it came from him. It came from another source. May not be his mother, but like it sounded like it came from another source.
Yeah, that's what I also thought, because I'm not used to him. Like, nobody that I know that's around my same age uses the word peer pressuring. So that was something that also when he said it, I was like, either your mom said it, your dad told you about it, because they know that for my birthday, he did like some grand things. He bought me a huge bouquet, he got me gifts, all after a little talk about him being stingy with money. And to which my sister told me he might just be like putting an act, and the act was just slowly falling apart towards the end, which it might be.
Yep, might be, but you made the right decision because it's like your parents gave you a bit of wisdom. Like if he's gonna blow up over something like that, then he would blow up over other things. If he's going to blame you for his lack of a backbone, then he's going to blame you in other instances in the future. So you made the right decision for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I also noticed something in me that when I noticed some kinds of behaviors in him, I tried to like ignore them, say, oh, it must be like, it's whatever. Like one instance, we were playing Uno and he forgot with his brother and he forgot to yell out Uno. And so I said, oh, you have to take 4 cards. And he just started pointing all up in my face saying, no, no, no. I said Uno, you're just making it up so I get 4 cards, all aggressively over a card game. And I kind of put that in the back burner and said, oh, it's maybe because it's a game and he was about to win. But what happened last Friday just added to the thing that this man has like some anger issues, some sort of insecurity with him that I'm not supposed to solve for him.
Right.
He's supposed to deal with that.
Right. Someone in the chat said autistic. Did he give you autistic vibes?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
But I do know that he's immature and he needs to grow up.
I'm with you. Well, all right, love. Well, you gave it a shot. Talked about it for a while. But I think you made the right decision. But yeah, I mean, you're obviously going to go out there and find somebody else. And when you do, definitely, if you have any issues, come back.
I will. Thank you so much for everything. Like, I definitely left this whole relationship with a ton of useful advice from you and the people in the chat. So I'm very grateful for it all.
Thank you so much, love. Best of luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
All right, bye. Sweet girl, man. She'll find somebody immediately. Danny, were you saying spreadsheet when she came up? No. That girl's like 18, 19 years old. Remove her from the spreadsheet immediately. Understand you're thinking, but nope, you can't do that. Take her off that spreadsheet. It was funny. She said that he was parading her around. I know my fellas know. Fellas, whoever pulls some fine shit, what she's saying is 100% accurate. You pull some fine shit, you don't want to go to the house no more. CJ, can you back me up on